COVID-19, a novel coronavirus, has now affected almost every country in the world and is now considered a global pandemic. Let's take a look at some websites where we can study the data. One website is the COVID Tracking Project, which is covidtracking.com. This website has a lot of different data features that you can use, and we can start by clicking on Our Data and going to Data by State. And here you can scroll through and find total data in the US, and you can also scroll through by state. This website has positive and negative tests. It also has numbers of hospitalized in ICU, on ventilator outcomes, and total test results. You can also click on some of these resources on how to use the data and some other data sources. Finally, you can also download data as a spreadsheet. So under Our Data, Data by State, you can click As a Spreadsheet, and it'll open this page. And then you can go through these tabs at the top to find some of the spreadsheet data. This is actually a Google Sheets file. So if you click on States Current, you can access some of that data. You can also click on your US Current, States Daily at 4 p.m. Eastern, US Daily at 4 p.m. Eastern, and then States. And this is where you can find more resources. All of these have the same data that were on the original page, but they have them in a spreadsheet that you can easily paste into Google Sheets. Another helpful website is called worldometers.info/coronavirus. This is a website that has a lot of other data across the whole globe, but it has a really great coronavirus resource. The first page that I have here open shows world data. You can see total cases and deaths and also total recovered. It has a few other types of data. It has some graphs, and then if you scroll down to the middle here, this is where it has a large table with data from all of the countries that have been affected. The nice thing about this is you can scroll through and see a lot of this different information that isn't available in the COVID tracking website. And you can also decide what information you want to include. So this tab right here that says columns, you can check the boxes that you want or the boxes that you want to leave out. So maybe you would like to add how many cases per people, how many deaths per people, and how many tests per people, and you can check those boxes. And then if you click out of here and scroll over, you can see all of that information listed here. You can also turn off some of these boxes if you just want to focus on maybe new cases and nothing else. You can check all of these boxes off and just focus on the information that you want. So there you have new cases and new deaths. The other nice thing is you can click yesterday and 2 days ago. Unfortunately, you can't go back any further than that, but you can compare some of the data if that's something that you're interested in. You can also click on these other countries and compare some regional data if you're interested in that. Once you've spent some time reviewing the data, you can start to generate some questions about it. Some of the questions you might ask are, which countries have the highest deaths? Which countries have the highest cases? Which countries have the highest cases or deaths per million? So you can start coming up with some questions and deciding how you're going to display your data. If you're using the Worldometer resource, you can also change the order of some of these columns. At the top here of each column, you can actually click on them and it'll sort the countries by order. So in this case, it sorted them by new cases. If I click here, it'll sort them by total deaths. If I click here, it'll sort them by new deaths. And so you can change the order on any of these. You can also click on the country. So here I'll click on the USA, and it'll show you cases in the US and number of deaths. And then if you scroll down, there's a table that has all of the cases in each of the states. And some of these you can also sort, and it has many of the same features as the country level data. I decided that I'm going to ask the question, what are the highest numbers of cases in countries and deaths? So I refined my data to include cases and deaths using the column button, and I'm going to highlight the first 20 countries. So I highlight them, I hit Control C, and then I'm going to move this over to a spreadsheet. I'm going to go down one into the A2 cell and paste my data using Control V. And then up here, I'm going to type country, total cases, and total deaths. So first, I will highlight all of these and go to Insert Charts, and we can see what this looks like. Here you can see it has cases and then it has total deaths in red, and those are hard to see. So I think that we need to show these on two separate graphs. So again, you just highlight countries and cases, go to Insert Chart, and here you can see those total cases. And we need to add to this title a little bit. So total cases of COVID-19 in different countries. Then we will do the same thing with deaths. To do this, we're going to just highlight country, hold down the Control key, and then highlight deaths, go to Insert Chart, and there is your chart for deaths. And now you can see that you really have you're able to see the deaths better than you were in that original graph when we put them on the same graph. And we can compare these side by side and really see some patterns. So the next thing you would do is answer your question based on the data that you just graphed. Now you've spent some time exploring COVID-19 data, asking your own questions about it, and then answering your own questions by analyzing the data using graphs in Google Sheets. Your final step will be forming conclusions from these graphs.